Aha, I was wrong about many things, chat, but that's okay. It's One Piece. I never know what to expect, and it's why I like this series. This is why I'm not a theory crafter and am an after-reader analyzer, because I suck at predicting what Oda is going to do plot-wise. It is nice to always be on my toes, though. I've never read another media that delights me in such unpredictable ways the way One Piece has. In saying that, let's get to the chapter. It starts off at a rocketing pace as the sun god calls the people in his room, temple, his live dolls. The Straw Hats make for their escape on Izcat, and even through the chaos, Luffy can still seem to appreciate the Lego craft of this mini world. Nami, being the genius that she is, throws away the map for the room because she's already memorized it. But considering this world is just a giant's room, Nami tells us they'll reach the end of the fake world in no time. Interesting note, the fake sun god says this room used to be a holding cell for giants. So, well, the question still stands. Where the hell are we? The fake sun god traps Izcat in a net, and Zoro and Sanji use a mini combo attack to get them out. Finishing each other's sentences? Come on, boys, get a room. Before this, Sanji questions why this guy is talking like a samurai. Not much to say about that, but that is surely odd. The fake sun god then finds out about his poor little bunny being killed and eaten, which we discover was a carnivorous rabbit. This just has to be a Monty Python reference. I don't know what else this could be. But the fake sun god takes delight in this, yelling that this is how the world works, and says, "A story without a script in my little walled garden." Little walled garden. Little garden? Oda, I am grabbing you by the shoulders. If Vivi is on the other side of that wall, I am going to shit my pants. The fake god continues on to say he underestimated the Straw Hats, says history is being written before his eyes, and calls this mini world something that belongs to only him. Another thing to note is the citizens in this world knew they were trapped the whole time, so I cannot imagine the horrible existence these poor people had in this actual cage. And then this giant goes on to say, Hajirudin may accept you, but I do not. Hajirudin being the captain of the new giant pirates, the fellow we met on Dressrosa. This absolute weirdo starts calling these people his collections, and calls all the Straw Hats ultra rare, and suddenly his monologuing seems really lame. Not in an Oda's writing is lame way, in a suddenly this guy is such a loser way, which is probably the point. Nami is very clearly sick of this guy, but the Straw Hats don't seem to want to fight the giant straight up. So Nami, saying you can't blame natural disasters on anybody, decides to strike him with a lightning blast. I just want to add that when Sanji cried to Nami about her being changed by this jerk, I thought exactly the same thing in the previous chapters. I am crying with you, Sanji. Don't worry, my boy. It's especially satisfying to see Nami getting her revenge on this, as Sanji put it, giant perv. But who is this guy? Welp, he is a giant. Nope, the Straw Hats have not been shrunk. It seems there really is a giant out there that doesn't like the Straw Hats, because the giant was Road from the new giant pirates. I was right about one thing, this guy is a massive weeb, as he kidnapped the Straw Hat ship and proceeded to call Nami his Oshi. Ugh. Oda, are you making fun of us? Road can't seem to believe his captain had decided to follow Luffy, so in what seems to be a fit of rage, adds the Straw Hats to his collection. I just have to add, it's very funny this guy is shocked that the Straw Hats are so resilient, when he knows it's the Straw Hats. Luffy's literally unlocked the powers of a sun god, and you're going, oh dude, no way, what do you mean they broke through my stone wall? This is what happens happens when you're a weeb with an ego. Also funny that before this, Nami questioned how this guy knew who they were. Girl, I don't know, maybe it's because you broke into a world government base 2 years ago and then took out 2 emperors just before this. Rhodes says the Straw Hats will go missing to the rest of the world in this room before he gets electrocuted. And Luffy yells so long before smashing through the stone wall, with the chapter ending on Luffy's excited face. So this chapter answered many questions. Yes, a giant did take them, and it turns out Dory and Broggy are just particularly very religious. I'm sure their Sundays are very busy. It also answered how the Straw Hats got captured because they were all heavily passed out on the Sunny before being taken by a giant bird. I want to say, at this point, the absinthe was indeed the red herring, not just to wonder about illusions, but the reason for why they were so deeply asleep and unaware of being taken. The sun god was indeed fake, and Road decided to be an edgy sun god. This guy really was just a huge weeb. I have to laugh because I can feel Oda giggling through these pages. This is the edgy Gear 5 some people hoped for. Are you happy now? Is Nami your Oshi? Please never stop taking the piss, Oda. These pages are radiating with point and laugh energy. I am not exempt from this either though. If this guy said Sanji was his Oshi, I would have died on the spot. Oda, you can't do this to me! But the biggest question is still, where are they? Usopp wants it to be Elbaf so badly. Chopper questions if this is Elbaf, and we don't get the answer. I am personally still leaning towards not Elbaf simply because I'm not sure how this guy would be getting away with this on Elbaf, nor do I know how they got to Elbaf so fast. Also, is Road still with his crew? Did he leave his crew? Has he been exiled? Too many factors to determine if this is Elbaf or not, but I await with bated breath. Theories aside, I am starting to see some narrative building here. Road clearly hates humans, he doesn't respect his captain's decision, and he imprisons humans for his own gain. What I'm sensing is, well, human giant racism. Considering how the giants have been treated by humans and how the first time we met giants, the majority of the Straw Hats were terrified, I have a feeling there's a lot of bad rumors and stereotypes about giants as a race. Shanks sat with giants on Elbaf, this is true, but Road is a pirate who's seen the world. Even though he is a weeb, it's very possible he's seen humans do terrible things to his fellow giants, and he wants to reign over them due to revenge. Or this guy just hates humans for the sake of hating humans. It could be a giant pride thing, and he could just be a loser. Either way, giant views and even the political world of giants is starting to be drip-fed to us. I'm sure the answer for why Road hates humans will be interesting nonetheless. Also, my personal observations lie much more on Zoro. He's gotten a lot of close-up panels this starting arc, a lot of serious panels where he's practically glaring all around him. I've only noticed them because he's gotten a few more than the others, and he seems particularly desperate to get outside. His first lines were to get to the sea and find the ship. Considering Zoro is the avid protector that he is, and considering we know he rarely ever lets his guard down for the crew, I have to wonder if he's kicking himself. Following on from his comment at the end of Egghead about Vegapunk's death, which I still take as Zoro beating himself up, along with Zoro being called a liability 2 times by Lucci and Sanji due to Sanji's frustration at needing Zoro to help them, and Lucci just trying to get in Zoro's head. I can't help but feel a spiral is about to happen here. To me, personally, Zoro has felt somewhat different since seeing the literal Grim Reaper in Wano. We've seen Zoro beat himself up when he thinks he's failed at something, especially protection of the crew, just like he did in Little Garden with the wax. And considering Little Garden is where Zoro started his building of needing to be better in terms of cutting through hard wax and steel, and Road essentially called this his own little garden, combined with all the parallels to Alabasta, well, I can't help but think there's going to be some sort of Zoro character building here. Not just a building, but maybe a spiraling. Again, personally, to me, it feels like Zoro hasn't been in a good mindset lately. I gotta guess he feels a certain responsibility for not noticing everyone getting taken with him on the same ship. It's not his fault, that's not what I'm saying, but he seems to take these things as his fault. This is all a prediction. I don't know what Oda's going to do, but Zoro's been somewhat off his game lately. Not in a way where I'm clowning on him, in a way where I think Zoro may start pushing himself to certain extremes, the way he did throughout Alabasta. But I also want more of Zoro's current mindset and current struggles to be addressed, so maybe it's just me being hopeful. In saying all that, what do you guys think? I have nothing much more to say aside from, where the hell are we? The new chapter couldn't come sooner, and as always, I am so damn excited for it. Feel free to talk it out in the comments. The goal of these videos is for you to treat them as a book club. And I will be back to talk about the new chapter next week. Please take note, I only read the officials, so these chapter videos will only coincide with the officials. If you'd like to see my chapter reactions in real time, you can join me on Twitch or my YouTube VOD channel. Please be aware they're a bit rambly because I get too excited about One Piece to collect myself in my live streams. With that being said, thank you and bye.